It's a special experience exchanging foreign currency in the Philippines. This has been my third time now. This one was the longest. So I think it was about an hour to change 400 euros. You know, the good news is that I'm all out of euros, so I won't have to go through the process again. Whenever you exchange foreign currency at a bank in the Philippines, just sit back and enjoy the show. Don't rush. Don't stress. Just let them do their thing, and just look at it as a part of the culture. Something to entertain and interest you. It's an interesting process because they need shitloads of signatures. Like you have to sign a copy of your passport 3 times, then a copy of your driver's license 3 times. Then you have to sign this little check. I think about 8 times. Signatures all over the place. And then they ask you questions. What is your mother's maiden's name? What is the purpose of your visit? What do you need the money for? What was the origin of the money? And then they go back and photocopy it again and again. And there's also, because I went to BDO Bank, which is one of the major banks in the Philippines. All 3 times I went to BDO to change. They have a good exchange rate. And every time they have a totally different a set of rules, right? So the first one I came in, I was like, I want to exchange 400 euros. After the lady at the counter had a long talk with a manager, she came back and she said, oh, nah, you can only change 200. We have BDO. It says maximum amount is 200. The next time on the BDO, I was like, can I only change 200, right? And he's like, no, there's no maximum amount. You can exchange whoever you want. And this time I went in, she came back and she said, and this is when I was already 30 minutes into the process, and she said, I'm sorry, sir, because you don't have an account and because you're a foreigner, we're not able to change your euros. Luckily, I had that slip the last time I was at the BDO bank with me. And so, I had proof. I was like, no, come on, guys. I mean, I know it's possible. So, they're pretty unpredictable when it comes to, abiding the rules that they have there. But anyway, my little tip to you guys is stay calm, stay polite, enjoy the show, smile, make a joke or two. So if you sort of become resistant and you start arguing with them or starting a discussion, they will sort of shut down and you won't accomplish anything. Furthermore, I've decided to stay longer in the Philippines. Actually, my initial plan was to spend 3 days in Manila and then move on to the rest of the country. So it's been almost 3 weeks now and I'm still here. I just can't say goodbye. I can't leave it. I can't leave it. There's something about this place. The longer you stay, the more it attracts you, captures you. Anyway, I'm going to the immigration office now to get a visa extension. Hopefully that process will be a little bit easier than exchanging a couple of hundred euros. But we'll see. I lost my precious Happy Land footage. I mean, a big part of it anyway. My plan is to return to Happy Land yet again. I'm becoming a sort of a familiar face in that neighborhood. Most of the travel vloggers and other people that are making videos there, they're just running through the place like we gotta go. I'm over the point that I'm taking any of those warnings serious. Any random people you ask about how to get to Tondo, how to get to Happy Land, like no, go there, don't go there. They will fillet you and cut you up, eat you alive, kill you and bury you, blah blah. I mean, I'm not being naive. I do know that poverty-struck areas have more crime. But let me tell you this much. When you're in the Netherlands, the country I live in, and you go into a bad neighborhood, which is nothing compared to the type of neighborhood or slum area as Happy Land, and you walk up with an action cam like me, like I'm doing right now, walk up to a group of young people hanging around there, then chances are very realistic that those young people will beat the camera out of your hands. And we're talking about situations where there are 2-3 guys. I'm in Happy Land, and there's not 2 people, not 2 youngsters, not 3, not 10, not 20, but 100, like, 100 people. And then there's this foreigner coming up with an action cam, walking up in this poverty-struck area. These people, I mean, with all due respect, they have nothing. They have nothing. They have no money. And all they do, just coming up and throwing up their gang signs, whatever, and all are smiling and laughing. Where you from? Welcome. Yes, you can film, no problem. So actually, I don't agree with Happyland being a dangerous area. Actually, I think Happyland is more friendly than any of the neighborhoods, the poverty-struck neighborhoods on European level that I visited back home. Walking around a little bit with a camera here with no actual schedule or timeline to stick to. This is not a big problem, but I can imagine if you're living here in Manila and you have to commute to work, you have a certain appointment or a time you have to be somewhere, then a situation like this could be very stressful. So this is an MRT train station that I'm going to take to the district of Makati. And what they have is they have 2 machines for tickets, and both of these machines are out of order. So this line right here, which starts somewhere down those stairs and goes all the way up to that register over there, 2 registers, and they have to serve I don't know, a couple hundred people now. I can't say that the logistics of this place are very efficient. If you go by train, don't go like me and be stupid and buy a single ticket every time. Buy multiple tickets, so you don't have to wait in line. People with tickets are just walking past right there, and people without tickets like me are standing here and waiting. And I think it's because the vending machines over there, the ticket machines, they're out of the little cards. That's what I think. So a bit of a bottleneck. But again, when visiting, go with the flow. No stress. Train ride is over. Looking for a bus to get to a district Carmona. Hello, sir. Do you know how to get to Carmona?
Carmona. Please wait, sir.
Over there?
Yes, over there, a BBN bus.
Thank you, sir. Commuting in the Philippines, it's you will not be bored. You will not be bored, I promise you. And you will save a lot of money. Hello. Oh my God. Run over by Philippine girls. Hey sir, you know how to get to Carmona?
Carmona Rizal, sir? Carmona, Laguna?
Yeah, just Makati, Carmona.
Makati? We don't have Makati circuit also, then...
Do I have to take a Jeep or something?
Yeah, Jeep, sir.
Oh, okay. When just using your logic and brain, you can already know that these buses aren't going aren't going to stay in town because they're a bit too big for that. But you know me, I always do the stupid thing first and then I'll do the right thing. As my mother used to say, smart people learn of the mistake of others, and dumb people have to make their own mistakes before they learn. Well, apparently I belong to the second category, unfortunately. But maybe one day will come that I will gain wisdom. After asking for directions 4 times, I think, I ended up here. In a terminal, and they actually have gates. They have gates and terminal and gates for little buses going a little loop around town. So just wait for that bus. You're busy 15-20 minutes, especially if you don't know where to go. It's busy with these transfers, figuring it out. But I'm sick of these grabs all the time, because grabs, they aren't cheap. I mean, they are cheap compared to Western countries, But every time it's like $5, $6, $7, $12, $5. You know, if you spend like an average of $20 a day on cab rides, well, that's a lot of money. I just switched to commuting via public transport. It does take a lot longer though, a lot. The guy I'm supposed to go with, he's sleeping in the Jeep right now. So I don't know how long it will take before he wakes up. That was a Jeep ride, let me tell you. Actually, there were 2 Jeep rides. It wasn't even a ride, it's just like hanging around all the time, man. Hanging around and around. 20 minutes at one spot. You know, then the thing drives for like literally 3 minutes. Then it stops and, oh yeah, you gotta take this one now. Hanging around in the other one until it fills up with 20 people crammed up like sardines. What I'm saying is, I should have just walked, you know, just walked. Why am I doing this? It's like 3 kilometers, man. It's nothing. Like 2-mile walk in a city you don't know. I mean, it's fun. The quest for the immigration office. It's 12. It's noon, guys. All right, so let me recap. Until now, until this point. I left the hotel at 8:30, almost 8:30 sharp. I went around the corner to change some euros, and then I took the subway or the metro to Makati. And now it's noon. So that took me 3.5 hours. That's the Jeep, actually. I'm faster than the Jeep, you know? And if I walk like a turtle, I'll be faster than that thing. The thing stops like every 10 seconds. And there it is. Ayala Mall Circuit. Yes. I finally found it. Yeah, but seriously, I think if like in some cases you're actually better off walking. I mean, for sure, in my case, the only I think disadvantage of it is, you know, the sun. I mean, if you walk around in the sun all day, you probably need umbrellas, an umbrella. Getting closer and closer. I made it, guys. Makati Extension Office. Yes. Now, they probably don't want me to film in there because it's a government institution. And I don't think it's very interesting to look at either. Right, so yeah, no, that was a pretty quick process. You know, it took me about 20 minutes. This here is the receipt. And so I'm traveling on a Dutch passport. And I asked for a 2-month extension just to be sure. 7,675 pesos. They're a lot more flexible than some other countries I know when it comes to visa extension. You can stay for a consecutive period of 3 years. So I was thinking about maybe, you know, just to be sure, I could take a visa of 6 months, you know, that I'll be that I'll have the possibility to travel in and out of the country, out of the Philippines. But they said you better, you know, it's best not to do that because the 6-month version is a lot more expensive. And once you leave the country, then you back to basics. And you get the 30 days, you know, visa upon arrival, as they call it, just a tourist visa. I understood from the clerk over there, from the immigration office, that I'm even able to open up a bank account here in the Philippines with that card. Not all banks accept it, he said, but still, you know, it's a nice thing, you know, to not pay all the the service fees when using an ATM, which amount to about $6. It takes 3 working days before you get a visa and your passport. At least it takes 3 business days for me with a Dutch passport. I don't know how it is for other non-EU countries. And it takes 7 business days, like 9 days in total for me to get the iCard. Yeah, this is definitely a different part of town than the place I was yesterday. I mean, it's still a busy city, of course, but it's nothing compared to Tondo. So you can see it's still a busy city, but when you're looking down these streets, it's so calm and almost serene compared to the streets I've been in yesterday. Still in the city, but this part of town got the air is a lot better here. Yeah, it's fresh air. A bit further in the district of Makati, so they got a Makati pollution control office over there. You probably couldn't see the sign, but that's probably the reason that the quality of the air is a lot better in this part of town, because of the Makati pollution control office over there. Hello. And as you can see, it looks very nice here. Yeah, it's a real nice part of town. Oh shit. I know I shouldn't do this because actually jaywalking in the Philippines is considered a very serious thing. You can get a fine of 5,000 pesos. And there's a cop right there. Thankfully he was talking to somebody else, otherwise I might have had my first fine here. Another guard over there. I'll tell you a little secret about these security guards and cops and enforcers. The weapons they have on them, most of them are not loaded. They are not. I paid attention to it. I've seen revolvers without any bullets in it. Pistols without any clips in them. It's actually more of a symbolic thing, to let the people and visitors know that you are safe, you're being watched, and all the firearms just add to that. Whoa, it's a very pretty cool view here. Pretty impressive. Total different side of town. Different life, different world. Hello, sir. A lot of security here, even a security dog. I can use myself some water right about now. For rent, 93 square meters. I wonder how much an apartment costs per month here in Makati. $1,000 per month? Probably something like 1,000. I don't know. Hello. I'll get myself some water, man. I really need. Oh, yes. It's quite an interesting article over there, the Philippine Star. Well, when I was walking down the street about like 10 days ago, I came across all these journalists from CNN and other news media, and they were having a story about the price cap on rice. So there was a big inflation in August here in the Philippines, 5.3%. The government decided to put a price cap on rice. Rice is a very important commodity. A lot of people depend on it, and they depend on it being affordable. But now that article says that that actually is not going to happen. Not a realistic thing to do, according to Congress. Not a Congress, but hello. According to the Marco administration. We see it everywhere in the world. I wonder what this is. I wonder what it is. How could it be? Like, scarcity of commodities, surging inflation. So weird that it's happening all over the world, huh? This street sort of reminds me of Hong Kong almost. Very important person coming through in a black SUV Escalade, I think it was, escorted by the police and everything. I wonder if that's a politician or just somebody working in the upper echelons of the financial world here in Makati. Gotta move fast, gotta move fast. And talking about moves, you know how to say that when one door closes, another door opens? Well, I experienced that today because I was feeling pretty disappointed yesterday about losing all that footage. Well, I went to the mall, one of the big malls here in Manila, looking for some kind of expert hacker WizKids who could, knock some sense into that SD card and get my files back. The files from Happy Land, that is. Nobody could. The last store I went to, this dude was apparently... hey man, this dude was apparently, some, character from the scene, so to speak, in Manila. And I'm talking about the Chicano scene. They actually have a Chicano scene here. No, but anyway, those guys, they read my Reddit post about me, wanted to go deeper into the, sort of poverty-struck, rough areas of town, and interviewing some of the guys maybe involved in some shady stuff. And that guy was like, oh, so what gangs did you interview then? He's like, Sputnik, BMG. He started calling all these names I never heard about. And he started showing me these pictures, right? And these guys look, well, I don't know, man. These guys look pretty hardcore. Anyway, they invited me Saturday to come into their hood. That would never have happened if I didn't screw up the whole SD card thing yesterday. But I did. And that's why I'm saying, one door closes, another one opens. It takes time to immerse yourself in a city. It takes time to immerse yourself in a culture. It takes time to get to know the angles, just to feel the atmosphere, and that's when you're in the position to take next steps. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.